Welcome to the show.
This guy got a mistletoe belt on.
Gosh, that is bad.
The whole plane smells like weed.
Those were the days. It's a joke, you idiot.
Looked in the mirror, I'm like,
Good old innocent fun. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Troublemakers, the podcast where each week we bring on a guest and they tell crazy stories about their lives. I'm your host, Dylan Krasinski, coming to you from a beautiful day in Astoria, Queens. With me, as always, is my man with the plan, my number two, the enigmatic co-host himself, Mr. Ray Zawodni.
Oh, thank you so much, Dylan. Did you see that cool thing
like
I did?
that, dude.
Oh, yeah, no problem. I'm doing that every time. Yeah, it's just a little bit of audio magic.
Yeah, dude, I enjoyed
but like
that.
old school, no post-production done to make that sound. That was just all me. And all me being interactive, being physical, because that's what we're all about.
Like when someone yells at you out of a speeding car.
Yeah, it's just playing with my levels, really. We have a fantastic show, but before we get to it, I want to thank every single person that has been checking out Troublemakers. Whether you're one of those people that are just here for the shorts and the reels, we love you. Or if you're one of the people listening to the audio version of the podcast, or if you're watching full video episodes that we have on YouTube every single week, we appreciate you. And we do have a favor to ask. Please engage with us. It's not expensive to do. It is completely free. You know, leave us ratings and reviews on the audio platforms. Share reels, share shorts on Instagram. And if you're watching those full video episodes, leave us a comment.
Leave us a comment.
It is so helpful for you to leave us a comment. And if you do. I don't want to get to it. I get to it every week. But if you do leave us a comment that's negative and you try attacking us, try attacking our guests, try attacking what we do, I'm not going to be thrilled. And I am going to do something about it. I'm not going to just take it lying down. What I'm going to do is I'm going to break into your house when you're not home, and I'm going to get rid of all of your summer clothes. Every bit of summer clothes that you have. I'm going to leave you with nothing but fucking sweaters and coats and long jeans and long johns if you have them. And then what I'm going to do is I'm also going to destroy your air conditioning. So yeah, maybe you have the finances to get it fixed, but at least you'll spend a half a day with no option but being butt-ass naked in your hot-ass fucking house or apartment, and you want to put on some clothes, somebody came to your door, you ordered some pizza, well, you better put on long pants and a sweater. So good luck.
Damn.
And hope nothing bad happens. Hope you don't get heat stroke.
That's diabolical, dude. Wow.
Anywho, we have a wonderful guest on the podcast today, a new to the pod, new friend.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, help us in welcoming Cassius Morris.
Let's get into it. Yeah, who knows?
The Levity Live comedy club is in this West Nyack.
Okay.
It's like right around. It's like one of the closest like clubs like that, like chain clubs to New York City, and they got one of them like crazy big malls. There's like a fucking like zip line and shit.
You gotta have a zip line, otherwise
Yeah.
it's not a real mall.
Dude.
You know what I mean? Come on.
The mall in Syracuse has I think it's Syracuse.
have a
I
funny
went to
about
Turning Stone. Oh yeah, they do.
Yeah.
That mall. Yeah, it's I went there, dude. Malls. It was so big. It was last summer I went. It was so big but so depressing.
Oh my
They
God.
had like an arcade, a bowling alley, all these cool event spaces, and then literally every other store was like just going out of business.
Well, that's what like so all the
They're
malls
selling like toys, like toy cars.
Just trying to stay afloat.
Oh, so sad.
I feel like if you're not like a baller ass mall like the Mall of America that's an actual tourist attraction, you are just a like haven for closing businesses and like young kids fucking shooting each other.
Dying souls just
Yeah.
collect in the mall.
Dude, it's like, yeah, what are you fucking selling strobe lights? How do you stay afloat in a mall with just selling strobe lights and wigs?
Spencer's Gifts, man.
Like, what are we doing?
Spencer's Gifts is making it happen.
Yeah, dude. There can only be one Spencer's. Oh, man.
I love. I mean, that was Cassius. How old are you?
25.
25. So,
Oh,
like,
okay.
I don't know how it is in Canada or like even in your like when you were growing up, but like the mall was like the fucking thing.
Oh, for sure.
Teenagers.
Yeah.
Well, like I was saying before we started, like the mall where I'm at in Edmonton is one of the biggest in the world. So you want to talk about mall rats? Like this is the Olympics of mall rats. Like we got the best of the best, world class. So yeah, that was definitely the place to be.
Yeah.
It was so much fucking fun. You'd go there, like, you'd know, like, if, like, a group of girls were going, and then you'd go, and you'd be like, let's hope we bump into them. And then your one boy's like, I think we're going to meet her out in front of a Things Remembered. Hell yeah, dude.
Oh, Things Remembered,
Yes.
dude. Okay. Dude, we
Which
used
still
to,
exists.
This is like pre-cell phone, too.
See, this is out of my wheelhouse because I don't know if we even have that in Canada. So what is
I don't
this
even
exactly?
know. I just sounds like a romantic place.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't know what things remembered?
No.
Oh my God. They engrave things. That's literally what it is. They'll sell you like a frame that you can have like to mom love Cassius. You know what I mean? Like it's like whatever.
It feels like Claire's would have been a better reference. But
I think things remembered is a
little more
great
universal.
reference.
It's good. It's
good.
good.
I mean, Gary Goldman had a famous joke back in the day
about things remembered.
It was hilarious.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. So fuck you.
All right, dude.
What are we reference
Don't shit on his
shaming here
reference.
today?
Come on.
Just wait. I'm clapping back,
Dude. I know.
I got about 50 minutes to clap back.
Hey, we've been me and Ray have been a little we've been nice to each other recently, but I can't throw a little jab in here every now and then.
Every once in a while we got to fight.
Yeah, we throw a little jab and then throw one back, dude. So dude, you're in New York you've been in New York for like what, 2 weeks?
Couple weeks, yeah.
Damn, how you liking it?
I'm loving it, man. It's awesome. I love the pace of it. It's been super fast paced. Like for anybody who doesn't know, I'm out here from Canada, and basically,
so that's where you still live.
That's where I still live. Yeah. So making the transition right now, and honestly, man, yeah, I think like just the different flavors of all the different spots out here, and like just the different vibes. It's really really cool.
Yeah.
And you're staying in like a long-term Airbnb kind of?
Yeah. So basically, I got it for a couple weeks, and you guys want to talk about crazy? So I'm out in North Bergen. And the Airbnb is very populated. So it's like a family that lives like on the main level and in the basement, and then upstairs they rent out 4 rooms. So they're making tons of money. Like I was thinking they probably pay for everything just off the Airbnb. But it's really cool staying with like a Spanish family because like we don't have a big Spanish community in Canada at all. And very entertaining and emotional people, man. Like I love it. So for example, I wake up in the middle of the night, 2-3 in the morning, and I just hear yelling in Spanish, people talking, yelling, and I'm like, oh my God, there must be a huge fight downstairs. Now I was hanging out with my buddy who's from the Dominican Republic. I told him this. He goes, they're probably just saying good morning, right? So I was like, what are you talking about, right? So then I keep hearing yelling. Finally, the one day I come down while there's yelling, and there's the old man, the grandpa, sitting on the couch, and he has a huge smile on his face while yelling at the top of his lungs. I was like, he really is just saying good morning. I could not believe this.
That is wild.
Experiencing a whole bunch of new things. But yeah, man, it's I'm telling you, I've never stayed in like even a roommate situation with people I don't know at all. So this has been being with like 7-8 people in the house is crazy.
So you're like connected with this family that owns it. Like you're like,
at this point, I feel like I'm part of the family.
I feel like you're going to have to marry one of their daughters.
I know.
that is insane.
You're going to have to come back, bring a couple goats, and, buy one of their daughters from
just
them.
an offering, right?
Yeah. Dude.
That was like, I can't do that. Like, do you think you could do it again? Like this type of arrangement?
I don't think I could do it super long term because I'm never there. I'm always in Manhattan and stuff and places like this, whatever. So... But I feel like to live there long term where you're actually in the house, because like I do a lot of streaming and podcasts from my house at home as well. So I don't know if I could do that long term.
Oh, I think it would be a nightmare.
You
could do it?
So are you like podcasting in this place too?
No, because I've just been getting content outside. Okay. And then I'm going to take it all home and edit. So basically, but I was thinking about it. I was like, if I had to stream from this room, I don't know if people would take kindly to all that yelling and stuff.
That's what I was going to say.
You know what I mean?
Everybody's saying good morning.
Yeah, there's a lot of good mornings.
Maybe they'd love it.
Maybe it would add a new layer. But last night was particularly crazy because there's a new girl that moved in, right? So it's like now I'm paying attention to all the tea, all the gossip in the house. I'm trying to keep up. So the girl moved into the room next to me.
Yeah.
4 a.m. She's on the phone having some sort of mental breakdown. So I hear her on the phone saying, fuck you. I'm spending all this money on an Airbnb, blah, blah, blah. So I'm just like, okay, this girl's crazy. So I'm like, if I have to meet her, it might be awkward. It might be weird. So this morning, I'm coming out of the shower, right? Going to unlock my door. She's there in the room. Her door is open. I can see her from the corner of my eye. I shit you not, guys. This girl, door open, she can see that I'm there. She just farts loud as hell. And then she just looks at me after doing it. And I just got the key in the door. And I'm just like, I did not know what to say.
So you've been there longer and let her just establish dominance.
Instant dominance.
She's
like
alphaing your house right now.
Not only to do it, but to look me right in the eye after. Like, yeah, I did it.
I'm
What's
upset.
up?
I'm upset for you. That's mad.
I just
weird.
gave her the keys. I was just like, look, this is your place.
This
now.
is your room. You could use this as a
Yeah,
second. You could
come
use
on
my
in.
room as your
You
office.
got 2 rooms now.
Oh, so you're all sharing a shower too?
It's insane, dude. Listen, I'm poor, bro. Like I'm in Jersey,
I
you
hear
know.
that.
Like this is the real deal.
As soon as you told me you were staying in North Bergen, I
You're
knew
like,
it
yeah.
wasn't.
Net worth is in the minus. It's
Well, dude, my one of my worst Airbnb experiences is I got this. I was doing this comedy festival. It doesn't pay shit in Columbus years and years ago, and I found
Name
an
that fest. Name that fest.
Whiskey Bear no longer exists.
Okay.
And it was like $25 for the room because it was just a room and a place, and I was like, this is fucking insane. This is great. I didn't know much about Airbnb then. Turns out I was staying there illegally. The girl was like, she was on campus in Columbus. I'm like 27, 28 at the time. I'm a big dude, and I like come there and like I frighten this like fucking like 19-year-old lesbian that lives there in the other room, and she's like, what are you doing? And she's like, I was like, oh, I'm staying here for the Airbnb, and she was like, God damn it, Christina's still doing that.
oh my god,
She
what a
lives
welcome.
in Seattle. She moved out a while ago. She's like, you're more than welcome to stay here, but like, you know, that's just and I'm like, I don't know what the fuck to do. So I'm like hiding up like in this room, like, you know, dude, I don't even think I showered while I was
my
there.
God.
I
It's
was-
like a hold up in the room, you know.
I was
It's like,
there. I
damn.
was there for like 3 days. I think I showered at like a comics friend's house, from what I remember.
Like, I'm so sorry.
Dude, I like had such fear of like, you know, the aesthetics of my ass coming in there hammer drunk every night. It was a comedy festival.
yeah.
Coming in there like lumbering all drunk, and just this like feeble young girl is probably like frightened of me.
I'm shocked. It's actually more power to her for being like, you know, you can stay here.
Yeah.
That's fine. If I was her, I would have been like, dude, you gotta
Yeah.
get the fuck
I
out.
smoked weed with her and her friends by the end of the.
I mean,
there you
we're-
go. So it all came around.
Listen, you're a likable guy.
I came home drunk the last night, and I was like, oh, I was like, something smells good in here. She's like, oh yeah, you can come in and smoke if you want. And like, I think it was a hollow gesture, but I was drunk. I was like, oh fuck yeah.
They're like, hey, they love me.
Hey, I'll order some pizza if you want. They're like, no, we're good. We ate.
We're going to bed. We're
Yeah, let's not get
vegetarians.
carried away here. I mean,
I have a serious question for you.
Please.
Well, now, this girl who moved in next to you in this Airbnb,
waiting for
is she attractive? What does she look like?
I think she's pretty attractive.
All right, dude. I can't ask that question.
No, but and I to be honest with you, I think you're already, you know, you elevated the relationship. You heard her fart.
Yeah,
I feel like we've already broken down so many walls that like it has to work at this point.
I think tonight when you go back, you know, if she's you bring up that you heard her crying last night, and you go, "Hey, I just wanted to let you know, I is everything okay?" And then
Exactly.
you go, "You know, I have some airplane nips in my room. If you want to maybe have some shots of Fireball, and we can talk about it."
Better idea. You leave your door open. You wait for her to come back for the shower. You crank out another fart.
I was gonna say I have to fart now.
Also, you're
That could be
completely
good.
naked.
Oh,
So you fart and then just kind of.
I feel like at that point we're in.
Yeah. I think that works, dude. You're in. She's either gonna freak the hell out, or you guys are gonna have a nice
Or
date.
we'll freak out together. Who
I got a
knows?
feeling you're going to be living in this Airbnb for the next decade with this woman.
Perpetual farts.
It's love, just fucking
Never gonna
farting
end.
and love making together up there.
Oh, dude, yeah, the roommate situations, I don't know what it's like in Canada, but in New York here, the rent is so expensive that most people have to have roommates well
Yeah.
into their, 30s at
For sure.
points. I mean, I had a roommate up until last year. This is the first year I'm living by myself. But, dude, I remember this place I had in Bushwick. You've been there a bunch.
Yeah.
It was two of us in this room on the second floor. The floor below us, it was just similar, very similar to your
Right.
Airbnb, a family. But I was like, I started seeing more and more people moving in, but like nobody was moving out. Dude, there was like 11 guys living in
That's
this apartment.
insane.
I remember walking up the stairs at night. You could see like in that front room where my roommate lived upstairs, but you could see downstairs. Dude, they had 3 bunk beds. So like 6 dudes, a room like this size,
That's
are
insane.
living in a bedroom. I was like, this is nuts, dude.
Just nothing legal about it whatsoever.
No. I mean, well, maybe. I don't know what occupancy is,
That's true. That's true.
That can't be legal. I mean, yo, I
Can't
remember,
have 11 friends sleep over?
dude, when I fucking We should do that though. That would be
Dude,
fun.
that would be. I would love to.
Sounds
do
like a Mr. Beast video. Like how many people can sleep over?
a comedian sleepover party,
like an
dude?
old dude sleepover party. I've been talking about that for years.
I love a sleepover, dude.
I know. It's just.
I don't like men no more.
But yeah,
It's perfect.
It would be so fun. But it's shit like that was the best. That was like the best being like we were even talking about like going to the malls and then like after you go to the mall, you and like 4 of your boys just stay at a friend's house and play fucking video games and like.
Try to find the scrambled HBO channel for After Dark,
Try to find that, like, fucking share like 3 Rolling Rocks.
Oh, whoa, dude.
That's a beer. Was that a good enough reference?
That was
for you,
good,
Dylan?
dude.
That was a good one. I got that.
Fucking cocksuckers. Attacking my
What was
references.
your like childhood like growing up in Canada?
Childhood was pretty good. I mean, Canada is a pretty, I would say it's like a somewhat sheltered place to be.
Yeah, especially you said Alberta.
Yeah, definitely.
I
So it's
picture
like-
that as just like, did you see the movie Mystery Alaska?
No.
That's how I picture Alberta, Canada.
Oh, I just always think of Bret the Hitman Hart.
Is
There
he
you
from
go.
Alberta?
No. Calgary, Alberta, Canada.
Well, Tommy Chong as well from
Oh, really?
Calgary. Yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah, it's an interesting place. I would say it's like a lot of scenic beauty.
Yeah.
Like you can when you're in Calgary, you're like a 3-hour drive from the Rocky Mountains, and like people travel from all over the world to see that. So it's really cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, but I would say that it was a pretty regular childhood. Things didn't really start to change until I really jumped into the podcast game when I would say I was like 11, 12 years old because I started.
Are you serious?
Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
yeah. I
Oh
started
my
in like
God.
2008 type of thing. So, yeah, I mean, basically at that point, things sort of started to change. I started doing interviews with people, going backstage at different concerts and comedy shows and things like that. So I would say, yeah, up until 11, 12, it was pretty standard. But then things took a big shift when I really jumped into the field.
That's awesome.
At concerts, who have you got to interview? Like who have been like some of your favorites?
Well, when I was really young, it was like Simple Plan. I had like Larry the Cable Guy, for example. So like when he was on the Blue Collar tour, I went backstage with them.
Oh, dude, that's wild.
Stuff like that, right? And they got such a kick out of it too, because they're like, "Who the hell is this kid coming back here?" I was like with my mom at the time, you know what I mean?
That's
Because
hilarious,
they weren't gonna
dude.
just send me. Because my parents thought it was crazy to send me backstage to a concert. They're like, "We're not doing
Yeah.
that. Like we're
He's
gonna
12
get,
years old with your Zoom mic. Like,
Yeah.
all right.
There's gotta
That's
be
how Michael Jackson got started.
There
Like,
you go.
people-
got to be some sort of charge for that.
Yeah, Mom, stay out here.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go back
exactly.
and meet Michael. I got to interview him about something.
Exactly. Sounds all too familiar.
Yeah,
No, his last name really is the Cable Guy. I
Yeah.
don't know what
Yeah,
you're
I know.
talking about, Dad.
Can't find that on the offender list.
dude, that's fucking cool though. Like that you had that like that's like Judd Apatow had that book. Have you looked at that at all?
No,
Looked
but
at
I
that?
know the story of him when he
Yeah.
was super young and stuff. Yeah.
And just like, dude, he would like fake like he was part of a publication and just go interview these people. But now it's cool because like podcasts are like, it's like you could just say, hey, I have a podcast, and they're like, yeah, fuck it, I'll do it. You know,
Exactly.
If you're there, they're
you're
like, I'll give
coming
you
to me.
15 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. And that's what I've found out here, especially. I mean, people, they just want to work. Especially going to the clubs. I've been there ready with my camera, the microphone, we're ready to go.
Yeah, that's great.
And as long as you're prepared, I find that they're good. Funny thing about Judd Apatow, too, I had interviewed Greg Fitzsimmons.
Oh, yeah, Boston
he's great.
legend.
Yeah, exactly. He's great. So he had told Judd Apatow about our interview on his podcast with him. And Judd was like, that's cool. But he's like, since I've been that kid, he's like, I never let those kids come and get me. Because he was like, I was bullshitting my way into rooms when I was 12. So he's like, no kid is going to bullshit their way into my space. So I was like, damn, Judd. So maybe now I'll get the interview. Who
Yeah,
knows?
you should, dude. Yeah, shout out Judd Apatow.
Shout
Give
out
this
Judd.
fucking kid an interview. You know what I mean?
Please.
He listens. He will probably hear it.
He's really
Huge fan.
kicking the ladder out from behind him. Though,
Yeah, dude.
with
That's,
that,
know.
with that
you know
take.
what? That's an anti-comedy attitude,
I
Apatow.
know.
Yeah, he's like, I've made it. We're done now.
Yeah, dude. I don't want to talk too much shit about comedy people, but Judd Apatow seems like a real dweeb.
Jesus, wow, that's.
He does, dude.
Hey, settle down.
He seems like a real dweeb.
I want to work in this town, buddy. What are you doing?
Yeah.
No, listen, this is my opinion only. And if he wants to, if he ever decides to make Freaks and Geeks revival, I'd be happy to do it. But,
Dude, you better not. Dude, Judd Apatow would whip your ass.
I mean, he's done some of the greatest comedy movies of all time. He's been behind some of the greatest comedy minds
Oh
of
my
a generation.
God, yeah.
That's true.
But, like, he
Funny
also,
People, Sausage Fest.
Yeah, I think he created. You think Jonah, Seth Rogen?
He didn't create them.
I mean, he gave all those dudes that opportunity.
Yeah, he didn't fuck their mom.
I mean,
He didn't fuck their mother.
Judd
as far as we know.
Apatow's kids,
Yeah.
dude.
He didn't. Yeah, he didn't test tube them. No. But that dude, like, I'm impressed by like the ambition of you being 12. Like, I'm just gonna fucking go talk to Larry the Cable Guy.
Yeah, I mean, it was interesting back then because so many people wanted to give you an opportunity at that point. Like when you're just, some random guy, like even now, it's way harder to get opportunities than it was when I was a little kid, right? But, again, I wasn't aware of that at the time, so I was just running with it. But no, I mean, at that time, man, it was just podcasting was super new. And I remember every time I'd log on to iTunes at the time to buy music, I'd just see on the side, like, top podcast chart, Joe Rogan, Corolla, and I just checked it out. And, my parents couldn't shut me up, so they were like, here, take this microphone. You know what I mean? Make better use of all this talk. And so, yeah, man, but it's funny to see how, everybody understands what a podcast is today. At that point, nobody even knew what it was. So it was really strange trying to explain to people I'm doing a podcast because every time I'd have to explain, well, what is a podcast?
Yeah.
I never
when you're like,
expected
it's
it.
like the radio, but
Exactly.
not,
But shitty, I'm sure.
But we're not famous, and we're just talking about our experiences.
Well, dude, and I think being a kid is so it's so disarming too. So it's like they're willing to talk to you. I feel like if I just like went backstage at like I don't know, fucking like Stones concert, and I was like, "Where's Mick?" They'd tase me.
Exactly.
They're like,
Dude,
like, yeah, we just beat the shit out of some guy with a microphone.
Oh my God, dude. Can you picture Ray just walking into the back of a concert with his Zoom mic? There's something, yes, very disarming about a 12-year-old, something real sad about a 34-year-old being like, I'm here for an interview for my pod.
So I'm just on the cusp. That's why I was like, I have to come out now. It's like,
Well, you've been doing it long enough, dude. And,
You also look young. You know?
Yeah,
You can still
fake
pass
it.
for
Fake
young.
it till you make
for
it.
sure. I'm 18. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Yeah,
That's perfect. You want a beer?
Ray,
Yeah.
the security guard's going to be like, sir, where are your kids?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
I'm not even sure. They're like, why are you wearing the wife beater and jean shorts? Please get the fuck out of here.
Dude, holy shit. Oh, my God, dude.
Oh, well, that's yeah, man. I know, dude. I still don't have that kind of ambition.
I wish, dude. I wish I
34.
did. Dude, it is impressive, too, that you were able to get that. I don't know if it was maybe the time, because now it's hard to even get, like, non-famous people to
for sure.
do a pod or a sketch or whatever. It's hard because there are so many.
No, it's hard to get anybody. I think at the time, for sure, there was a lot less saturation. And even like the people who are bigger names today, like a lot of the comics I reached out to, like Joey Diaz, guys like that, Redman, Ari Shaffir, these guys were big, compared to, to me even now.
Yeah.
But I mean, when you look at the level that they're at today, they were nowhere near there at the time. I mean, like now they're, proper, I would say celebrities. Like Joey Diaz is a proper celebrity.
Oh, yeah. Sure, for sure.
But back then, it was, to reach guys like him and Ari and Duncan Trussell, it was a lot easier, I would say, just due to the level of saturation being lower in the space. So, I mean, reaching out to those guys, like I was always just tweeting them all the time back then. I would tweet, make my stupid little vlogs, YouTube videos. I would tweet it to Joey. And finally, one day he saw one of my vlogs and he retweeted it. He must have been stoned or something, like just chilling. And I was just a kid doing the cinnamon challenge. And he reposted it and he said, "This is hilarious."
Oh, that's
What's the cinnamon challenge?
You've never done it?
Yeah, it was this ridiculous challenge where you take a spoonful of cinnamon. You're supposed to try to swallow the whole thing. Sounds terrible to actually explain it in words.
Yeah, dude, it's super dangerous. Kids were like
you
dying.
can't physically swallow it, so that's the challenge. But again, it's not something I would have done if I wasn't 11 years old.
Dude, it coats your whole mouth, and then like you can't get it, and there's still cinnamon. So
Have you done it?
I'm trying to think. I've done the milk challenge.
He's like,
I've tried
no, I'm
to
sane. He's
Chug a
like,
gallon of milk. I've done the saltines challenge. You try to eat four saltines in a minute. It's like impossible.
How old were you when you did that?
This was like last week, dude.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Come on.
Dude, the milk challenge I remember people doing that. That was fucking gross.
Yeah.
I remember my two buddies doing it when we were in, I think we were like high school, maybe like fresh out of high school. They're sitting next to each other and they had like, they were kind of on to like YouTube before like, before I was, I mean, probably in the sense of like you know what I mean? Like doing that at such a young age. Yeah. And they're just pounding milk and then vomiting on each other, like aggressively. It was the most disgusting, but like you can't turn away. It was hilarious.
No.
You got to watch that.
Yeah, I've never done shit like that. I've never had the like. No, I never.
Dude,
did
we
that.
had a run when we were kids of doing like, it was right around when Jackass was like just coming out, just getting big. So like we had a run of like give us a camera, and I remember my one buddy was just crazy. He had no fear like going up. What you would see now, like regular Instagram, like man on the street stuff, like pranks. Right. We were doing that like 20 years ago. You know, like
that's insane.
22 years ago, and just going up to people. I remember, I still have the video probably of him going up to this old man in the library and just having a conversation with him, and it was wild. It was just like he's saying the craziest stuff, and this old man's like, "Oh yeah," being racist and shit. And
see, now that would go viral.
Yeah, exactly,
100%. Well, that's what. But though there is a. And it's a good point because I want to see how you feel about this. Like there's certain things that are being called pranks, and we've talked about this before, that just aren't fucking pranks.
No. Yeah.
Like dude, there was literally one where this guy who's he's a mixed race dude, I think, or he's a black dude, but he looks pretty like racially ambiguous. Like you can't necessarily tell he's black.
It was me, by the way.
And his, but I mean he. For all intents and purposes, yes, about the same type of look, and we would walk past like groups of like black dudes like hanging out and just say the N-word, and then they're like, "What the fuck?"
That's insane.
And they start chasing him down and like trying to like swing on him, and he's like, "It's a prank! It's a prank! It's a prank!" And it's like that's not a prank.
It's not a prank.
Yeah, the ones where it's like a dude going up an escalator and then like touching a girl's hand, and the boyfriend like hops over and beats the shit, and he's like, "It's a prank, dude." It's like, well, sure, but you also did just touch my girlfriend.
It's not.
That's
a prank.
not just because you have a camera filming it to put on YouTube doesn't make it just a prank.
You know what a prank is, and one that I really liked is the guy in the filming it from like the stall of the bathroom, and then he says, "Oh man, dude, I ran out of toilet paper over here. Can you hand me some?"
Yeah.
And then he grabs it, he wipes chocolate on their hand.
That's
a prank. That's funny.
That's funny, and it's like it's harmless at the end of the day.
Yeah,
it's a guy freaking out, and he's like, and all you gotta do is, dude, it was just chocolate. I was just fucking with you.
Did you guys see the one where the guy got a gun pulled on him?
Oh yeah, I'm sure. I don't know the specifically which one, but
so
like, I've seen those.
He was like just getting in the guy's face, and again, I don't know how it's a prank when you're like blocking somebody's movement in a mall. But again, like people who watched it, they even said it was grounds for self-defense.
Oh, you're talking about the dude who got shot in the mall.
Oh, you know what? He did get shot, actually.
Yeah,
I was thinking he just pulled a gun. He actually got shot.
Yeah, did you hear about that one?
No.
The kid, he's a YouTuber.
Yeah.
And I looked him up after the story aired, and he, not for nothing, but like he had like 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. Imagine getting shot for 1,000 subscribers.
Bro's not even monetized, getting shot.
It's
oh,
crazy.
My God.
That's nuts, dude. But yeah, that kind of shit. The ones that drive me wild, that I still watch them because they're funny. But if it ever happened to me, I would be like, this is ridiculous, is the dudes who put buckets on the guys' heads in like Home Depot.
Oh yeah. They run up behind them and stuff.
Or they turn around, they put a bucket on their own head, and then they both take them off, and they're like, he's like, what the hell just happened?
It's the equivalent of me running into a bank with a ski mask and a bag and saying, put the money in the bag. And saying, it's just a prank. Like, which part exactly was the prank?
Dude, that's actually a great idea for us to rob some banks.
And
we go in and ski mask, and then
it's a prank.
Best case scenario, we get some fucking cash. We rob this bank, we get away with it. You know, worst case scenario, it's a prank. It's a prank. We're doing it for our Heat vlog.
Yeah, I think legally it's a defense. I think that's fine. I think you could just say.
I think at this point, that holds up in court. In this day and age.
I think the prank that I hate the most, though, even more so than the hand on the escalator type of thing, is there is this dude, and I don't fucking remember his name, and I don't even want to necessarily say his name.
Right.
But he goes to different sporting events and just purposely wears the opposing team's
I've seen this
jersey,
guy.
and just starts shit. And I'm like, how the fuck is this a prank?
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
hate that, dude.
I hate it because it's not like.
Because Ray knows that he would be the dudes like trying to fight the guy in the video, and then people are like, "Oh, people care so much about sports."
No, I definitely wouldn't. But I am the type of guy that like I grew up where like if you're doing something to like antagonize, you're getting your ass kicked because you're trying to antagonize, not because of the content of what you're doing. It's like, fucking, why are you fucking with people? These are all people having a good time for the most part. They're just trying to go see their fucking team. They're fucking, these are fucking like people working for labor unions that have been busting their ass for fucking 5 days, 6 days sometimes if they get overtime, if they're lucky enough to get fucking overtime, working 60 hours a goddamn week. And
I feel like this is a personal story.
Saving goddamn grace is to go see the Michigan football team play on a Saturday, and they get there, and some fucking little geek who's trying to get views is wearing an Ohio State t-shirt, and he's like, Michigan sucks, and you're just like, God damn it, my fucking wife just left me, my fucking son's gay, which is okay, but I'd like grandkids one day, and the fucking, like this, you never know who you're fucking with.
Yeah, dude,
you never know
who's right on the edge.
This guy.
Right on the edge.
That reminds me of this concert I went to. So when Kiss and Motley Crue did a headlining tour, I watched two grown men almost get in a fist fight over Kiss versus Motley Crue. I shit you not, it was just like teams. One in a Kiss shirt, one in a Motley shirt. Fuck Kiss, no, fuck Motley Crue. It was escalating. I was like, boys, like, you realize none of these bands give a fuck about us, right? Like, this is the give us your money tour. This is a extraction of money from the wallet.
They're not even doing new songs.
I know. This is a legacy.
But I can tell you what they're equal in, being past their prime. They're both way too old to be here.
That's true. For you. Well, at least Kiss is bowed out now, which is nice to see. Yeah, they did their last show. I was going to come out here for their last show because I've interviewed Kiss, and that was how I built a lot of my base and stuff of viewers. So yeah, December 2nd at the Garden was the last Kiss show. So they finally bowed out. Yeah.
I also got to say, Kiss and Motley Crue both kind of roll. They're pretty cool.
I like both. I like both a lot. Absolutely. I think definitely Motley, though, when you talk about being past your prime, it's
bad.
It's pretty bad.
Wow.
Vince Neil.
Yeah, I would be at the fucking the show like a Kelsey, like the Kelsey brothers' mom wearing that split jersey. Yeah. It would be Kiss and Motley Crue.
Man's a peacekeeper. You're gonna have those two guys hugging instead of fighting and just bring them together.
Yeah, it's like, hey, both are gonna perform, man. Settle down. Dude, that Motley. Did you see the Motley Crue movie?
That
The
movie
Dirt?
was now directed by the guy who did Jackass, right? Jeff Tremaine, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah, so
it was good. I really enjoyed the movie. It's on Netflix.
I never saw it.
It's really good. Those dudes were fucking nuts.
I tried to watch it like last summer. I think I was at my parents' house and I like put it on, just like, what's this? And I put it on. My dad walked in and was like, they're just like railing coke off the
girl
table
squirting right in the beginning.
Yeah, and my dad's like, what the hell? He's like, your mother's in the house. Yeah. What are you watching?
That's how you start a movie.
I know. Can I tell you my favorite pranks, though?
Yeah.
You would love this dude, actually. If you haven't seen him, he's the best. And I wish we could pull it up. The dude, he walks around Central Park, okay?
Yeah.
And he walks usually he'll find a group of girls or a family, and he's just walking in front of them. And then as they go to pass him, I'm pretty sure he has a fart machine, and he just rips a fart.
I love that.
And then he'll be like, oh God, I think I should. And he'll turn around and run away.
I love
and
that.
they film the reactions down.
Dude, maybe that's what happened to you in the Airbnb. That chick was probably
She must have had a camera somewhere. I swear, it was too perfect.
I would love somebody to send us a video of you just going
I'm in my room.
And then right after it just pops up like and subscribe for more.
I swear to God, the
Airbnb
dedication
farts.
for that, and she'd have to tell me it's just a prank. You got to add that at the end as the caveat.
Dude, we talked about this yesterday.
It's just a prank.
It's just a prank. The difference between, farts are always funny, except when they're the weird people try to make them sexual.
Yeah.
We were just talking about this, the chiropractor videos with the hot girls who were farting.
Oh, yeah. And then they try to laugh it off like it's
so
cute.
weird.
Well, that's what I and granted I'm not an innocent man by any means, but I was shocked because I was watching a video because of the humor of farts on a chiropractor video. It's they're getting their like spines adjusted, and then just naturally like they fucking fart, and I'm laughing, and then I accidentally saw the comments, and the comments were all like, I'd pay fucking $1,000 to just get a sniff of that room, and I'm like, Jesus,
They need a therapist for their mind, not their body. I would say if they're saying that.
It's so fucked, dude. Oh my god.
Were you ever a prank guy? Have you ever like because I know you make a lot of content.
I've dabbled. Well, I kind of had my jackass phase too, but
Yeah.
this is when I was real young. I never put it out. We were just like driving bikes off of like hills and stuff like that. But no, I used to be a magic kid. That's what I did when I was a kid. I was a magician.
Straight up magic.
Yeah.
Do
So
you know any tricks still?
I don't think so. I mean, in
damn,
the back
dude.
pocket. But I like performed at the Calgary Stampede when I was a kid.
Oh shit.
So yeah, like I never even had a girlfriend in elementary school. They ran the other
What?
way. But
That's
With all that
shocking, dude.
magic,
I feel like I should have done a
crazy.
better trick. You know what I mean? But no, that's sort of where I was at. But I know of a lot of people who dabble in the prank stuff. The thing is, when we talk about saturation, I just feel like so many people are doing it that it's sort of better for me at least to avoid it.
Oh yeah, probably.
Now the Nelk Boys are from Canada, which are obviously a big prank group, and they used to actually do pranks right around where I would work at in Canada.
Oh,
so,
shit.
I would see people like that sort of starting small and blowing up, but I feel like it's a lot of them can get pretty elaborate. It takes a lot to put them together,
Yeah.
right? If you're gonna do a good prank, at least.
dude.
Yeah.
I just saw this one the other day where it's this dude. He fills up like an inflatable swimming pool, right, in his apartment, and then dresses it up like it's a bed.
Oh my
And then
God.
his wife comes in and sits and falls in, and I'm like, dude, this is so fake.
Oh
So
has
yeah.
to be fake.
I hate the fake ones.
Stage
dude.
Yeah.
pranks.
That is funny though. If
I
you
hate
were just
the
to
I hate
straight
the
up do
stage
it.
pranks almost. The best prank I ever pulled, and I wish I had it on film, is my my mom on Halloween had a Ghostface, is that his name from Scream?
Yeah.
Ghostface
Yeah.
costume, and she like put a bunch of like newspapers in it and like had him like sitting on the porch. So I got home from school earlier than she did, me and my brother did, and I was like, yo, I'm gonna go and fucking sit in the Scream costume. We'll empty it, and we did it. And I sat there, and when she got, I just jumped up. I scared the shit. out of her.
That's funny though.
That's
Yeah.
a great prank.
And
dude.
we didn't film it or anything. 'Cause we weren't trying to go viral. But I was
'Cause
also
you're
like,
just doing it for the pure joy.
I was like, also, how didn't she know that the fucking Scream on the porch got fatter? Like she should have been like,
You've been dipping in the candy, like
Did someone add a phone book to the Scream costume?
she's like, I feel like I didn't put that much newspaper in that fucking body.
My dad actually did that one day around Halloween as well. So we were walking home from school, and he had got home early, and I had a Michael Myers mask, which was super realistic with the whole outfit and everything. And he put on the outfit and the mask, and we lived in like a very suburban area but it wasn't like typical suburbs. It was like wooded areas. Picture like deep in New Jersey kind of thing. So he's standing there at the end of the street, right by the woods, in a full Michael Myers costume. This tall ass muscular dude.
Fuck
We
off.
were shitting ourselves.
That's
man. I
so
swear to
scary,
God.
dude.
But then it took a couple minutes, but we realized, oh shit, that's him. So I would say honestly, like my family were the pranksters. They were the
Damn,
ones who
dude.
would always pull that.
Yeah.
That's good. One of my sorry.
No, my brother did that too. He would like hide in closets and fucking jump out. And
So
scare the
good.
shit out of me.
I love that. One of my favorite pranks that I've ever pulled, which is so innocent, is you tape the at the sink if you have the sprayer.
Yeah,
the
that's a
spray
good
nozzle. You tape the spray, and then when people turn it on, it sprays them in the shirt. And dude, I did it. I was like. Did a run of them where I was like getting everybody in my family, and then I went and stayed at my aunt and uncle's house, and my cousin was there, who's like not funny at all, like is the most serious dude, and he hit it like. I did it like the night before, went to bed, and no one used the sink. And he's like going to work, and he's like, "Oh, let me just." And dude, it hit him right, and he was like, "What the fuck is this?" I was just like, "I don't know who did that, dude."
You're like, I'm not claiming ownership this time.
Yeah,
Screw that
no
shit.
way, dude. And it was obviously they're like, "Oh, it's the fucking 12-year-old who is visiting."
I would have been fucking furious, dude. I think I hate pranks.
Yeah.
This is the one that kills me the most is fucking with people while they're sleeping.
Oh,
I
yeah.
always hated that, man. Like And have I done it? Have I dabbled?
Yeah.
Yes, of course I have. I remember in college, it was like freshman year. I had suite mates, like we shared a bathroom. And this dude, he would pass out drunk, and he'd pass out butt naked almost every time.
Damn.
And
He's asking for it.
Hilarious.
So his roommate was like, dude, you got to come in here and look at this. And he's just laying sprawled out, and he's like face down. So I just take a fucking Sharpie and draw just like from like, bottom of the neck to like ass crack, the biggest dick that I could draw.
Oh, Lord.
And he fucking, I just don't, we laugh for like, 20 minutes. I go to bed, wake up the next morning, and I was like, oh, dude, I was like, where is he? I was like, did he see the dick yet? And he goes, he's like, no, oh, fuck, I forgot about that. He just went to work for this like Habitat for Humanity thing.
Oh no!
And I'm like, holy shit! I'm like, he's working outdoors. It's sweaty. Like,
He's gonna take his shirt off.
I just remember immediately. I'm like scrambling and texting him like, dude, if you're at that thing and you're working hard and you're sweating, don't take off your shirt. And he just goes, I saw the fucking dick.
Way ahead of you.
I love that shit, dude. Dude, that used to piss me off so much in college when people pass out, right? Yeah, I've done it too. You fuck with your friends, whatever.
Sure.
Dude, I remember freshman year, the most pissed I was, I think. We were out drinking and night ended. I went to bed. Dude.
Yeah.
I literally like got undressed. I wasn't like blackout. I got undressed and got in my bed.
That's bullshit.
Like, and to be like, hey, I'm going to bed, guys.
Yeah.
See you tomorrow. Dude, I woke up to them like putting like fucking shaving cream on me.
Oh,
and
come
like
on.
fucking Sharpie. I'm like, dude, I didn't pass out. I went to sleep.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is this?
I don't know why I was just hoping that you said way worse things. You're like, they're putting shaving cream on me. They're putting water on me. They're coming on my feet. They're fucking. Dude, I remember fucking. This was the thing that I was like pretty pissed about. Is I remember we were at a sleepover and. I was for like somebody's birthday. And we're like, dude, we're like 13, 14. And somebody pissed in the toilet. They put a piece of like napkin in there. Yeah. And then wrung it out on somebody's forehead.
Damn,
Oh my God.
That's dirty.
And I was like, what?
That's dirty.
Fucked up, dude. I would like, he was a big dude. He would have been like, not like easy to fight, but I would have had to fight him.
You would have had to,
Like
man.
if he poured piss on me.
Oh, yeah, dude.
It's crazy when
piss.
people have that sort of liberty, like they take that kind of liberty in somebody's house. It's like you're pretty
Yes.
comfortable, you know?
Oh, that's crazy, dude.
I had the one where my friend came over. Now, my dad was a cop growing up. He's not a cop anymore, but he was for most of my childhood. So that in and of itself was a strange experience. But I came in one time to the basement where my buddies were sleeping, and I found my one buddy head to toe, minus like the belt with tools, in my dad's cop outfit. And he was wearing it, taking pictures in the bathroom, bro, taking selfies with everything. And I was like, bro, it has his name on it. I'm like, you're taking photos. Like, I swear to God, I almost kicked him out, man. I've never been more upset. 14, 15. I see, and this dude was like 5'5" too. So I see this miniature cop, look like something you see at a fucking gay bar or something. Just a midget dressed like a cop.
The village people.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck?
Dude, that is so disrespectful.
Just despicable.
As a kid to come in and then just raid your friend's dad's closet and put his clothes on. Oh,
Ridiculous.
My
Thank God he
God.
couldn't find the pepper spray and shit, the tool belts. I was like, oh my God.
Dude.
Oh man, that was insane. Yeah, but that was a weird experience though. Like growing up with my dad as a cop, it was weird, man. Like he'd come pick us up sometimes, and like you gave us a little ride around, would put the lights on and stuff.
Really?
And yeah, it was weird. It's and then obviously some kids in school, like their parents would talk shit about cops, right? So it's like it would be one of those weird things. But yeah, man, interesting upbringing.
That's
in that
interesting.
regard.
That's you. I'm sure didn't get into much trouble because you'd be fucking like pretty scared of.
Pretty much. The thing is, like, I just did like the typical shit, like smoking weed and drinking here and there. But that's the thing is, like, people were too scared to do it with me because they're like, your dad's a cop.
Oh yeah.
So the
yeah.
one time, like, we were there
sucks.
smoking weed behind the garage, right? And then my buddy found out my dad was a cop. Dude, he went into like a paranoid episode, man. He's like, oh, I don't want to get caught. I don't want to get us arrested. I said, well, my dad's not necessarily going to arrest us. But yeah, it definitely wasn't conducive to
Yeah.
a lot
He's
of
just gonna
troublemaking.
spank us.
Yeah.
Were you like, I'm 16, I'm not a fucking informant?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
I'm not working with him now.
Yeah.
I'm under his rule.
God damn, dude. Your dad's profession is just turning you into an alcoholic.
Yes.
Making you drink by yourself behind the garage.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time back there. No.
Just like alone. Just, Dad, nobody wants to drink with me because
Yeah.
they're scared of you.
Have you done a ride along?
Yeah.
I would assume you have.
Yeah, I've done a couple. So I'm also a lawyer, and I used to
cool.
work as a prosecutor in Boston for
Okay.
like 5 years. And yeah, I've done a couple. One was so fucked up. It was awesome, but it was also kind of fucked up because a lot of these like the cool ride-alongs are like with the drug detectives,
Right.
Because they kind of. It is a little fucked up, but a lot of what they do is they use like confidential informants to like. Basically go and like do crime to stop crime. So
Right.
they set up buys with like, a CI will be like, hey, this guy has been like selling a ton of stuff. It's, he just got a big shipment in. I was just there. So they'll like, set up a buy to do it. And me and my friend, who was another prosecutor, we went on this ride along. And I remember, dude, it was so like we met all of them. We like go and like they do their whole like, okay, this is what we got for the night. And that's the real interesting thing because they work all day technically.
Yeah.
They're in court and stuff, but then they'll like work from like 5 o'clock to like midnight. That's their like,
And they'll
time.
actually go out and get people at that point.
Yeah. So
That's insane.
They were specifically trying to like arrest someone so they could like show us some action.
Right.
And so they're like trying to set it up. Nobody's getting back to them. Okay.
Damn.
So we end up going like outside of the county that we were in, like right next door is like a different county, but they kind of work together.
Right.
And dude, they're like, I think it's going to be, kind of a dead night. No one's getting back to us. We wanted to show you something. And then all of a sudden we hear on the radio, we drive by, someone does like a double take and they're like, oh, is she working? And dude, it's just like a prostitute on the street.
Oh, shit.
And they're like, yeah, we know her. So one of the cops jumps out of the car, does like a double take, and then just like walks by her. They start talking. They turn around. They start walking the other way. And then they just like, they busted it. He
Damn.
gives like a signal. He like puts his hat on or takes his hat off.
And it's on.
It's just like, dude, 6 cars pull up. And I remember when
I
they're
thought you
like,
meant a different kind of busted it.
Yeah,
all the
hang on a
cops.
second.
I thought he was like, I just nailed this broad to
Yeah.
get some intel.
dude, there are some, I'll say that, but there were some times where like they would hit these like massage parlors.
Yeah.
And they would have to like, get to the point of like, and I think sometimes they would let them go. Like, you got to get the evidence.
Right.
So, a little dick touching and be like, okay.
She's legit, guys.
It's happening.
How was work today, Frank? I don't really want to talk about
Yeah.
it, hon.
It was pretty nice, actually.
Yeah.
It was
Well,
pretty
you're in a
nice.
good mood, honey. Like,
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I got to have a hand job. So,
I got a little bit of a 2-finger job, you know what I mean? But I remember sitting in the car as they like brought this girl over, and she's like right up against the car basically, and my window's cracked so I can hear everything. And she's like, no, we're just friends. We're friends. She doesn't know that the guy
Is a
is
cop.
also an undercover cop. You know? So she's like, we're friends. And he's like, all right, we'll see about it. Let me go talk to him. And they go, and she's like, we're just friends. We're old friends. We're going to my house. And then the cop turns around, the other cop talking to this undercover, and is like, I don't think you're as close as friends as you thought you were. And I was like, oh, it's so fucked. Granted, the case probably got dismissed, like,
Yeah.
like the next day on like court costs or something.
is that
But,
what would typically happen in a situation like that?
they don't typically go after, especially in Massachusetts, it's more liberal
Right.
to defendants. The petty stuff like that, you're not trying to, jam anybody up. It
Takes too long.
Well, it's just like, it's also why you kind of hitting the girls and not the Johns as
Right.
much. So that was a
damn. I
Kind
love
of-
you using the words.
a culture change that they did.
Yeah, not the Johns as
know,
much.
yeah, the
They
Johns,
started
you
going
know?
after the Johns more, and that's when like things kind of slowed down. Well, it's also like, dude, if you're gonna get a prostitute, I don't recommend it, but like maybe not like out of just like the back pages or whatever.
Right.
Like these like
Well, the back page has been shut down. My dad told me.
But like, who do you think is advertising? It's probably cops, dude.
Yeah.
Advertising on these,
I would
like-
imagine. Well, most of these girls, they probably just use OnlyFans. They probably don't even meet up anymore, right?
Yeah.
That's what I would imagine. I mean, it seems like a cyber world now. But the ones who are still walking it, that's dedication to the craft right there.
Yeah, and it's also sad when I like think back about it. At the time, I was like, "Oh, this is nuts. This is so crazy." But now I look back and I'm like, "Yeah, it's kind of sad." Dude.
Oh, I wonder if
Yeah.
these prostitutes are like me with stand-up comedy, where I'm like, fuck, man, like I miss the old days when it was just doing stand-up on stage. Now you got to live online. I think
Exactly.
Those,
Oh, yeah.
I think those whores are probably also like, all these people getting famous off of showing their clams on.
I've been
Yeah.
doing it. I can't even get
OnlyFans.
a phone.
Yeah, and I'm still out here on the streets.
Or
This
they're walking the beat. This is
one that's
dedication.
this one that's used to be an art form.
She's taking nudes with a flip phone. She's like, "It's so blurry, nobody even knows."
It's a creative renaissance in the field.
Dude, yeah, but that was a nuts. Those were fun. I'm actually doing a podcast right after this about bad jobs, and I'm sure I'm going to talk a lot about
About being a prosecutor. Which
Well, I
is-
love doing it, but there was
Yeah.
a lot of crazy things.
A lot
that
of crazy
happened.
stuff, I could imagine.
Yeah.
and you went on ride-alongs with your dad.
I went on a couple, but it wasn't exactly like while there's crime going on. It was, he'd show
Yeah.
up, show us the lights at school, or sometimes,
Well, that's what I'm
in front of our
saying.
friends.
It's got to be the complete opposite, where like Dylan's people are like, we want to show these like prosecutors some crime, and your dad's like, this is my son. I
Yeah,
gotta make sure
exactly.
he's
Yeah, I got to make sure he's not seeing any
Yeah.
of this.
Dude, the amount of like red tape that we had to go through to just go on the ride along was crazy. Because
Yeah.
they used to just bring prosecutors. Like you could go on whenever you wanted. They'd be like, "Hey," but then they would be like, if something happens, now you're a witness. Now you got to be in a police
Right.
report. So a lot of the times, like, it was kind of. We had to like ask the supervisor, ask their supervisor, and
Yeah.
then finally they were like, after like years, I think I was like 3 or 4 years into the office when they were like, "Yes, okay, you can go on a ride along."
So a lot to go through.
Yeah.
So your dad was like the parent though you didn't want to fuck with.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, the thing is, though, he would never use that as leverage to parent, which I appreciated. Like, he would never be like, "Oh, I'm a cop." But he was a serious guy. I remember the one time I was like a little ass kid, like probably, like 5 years old, well, 4 years old even.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't get in the damn car seat or whatever age I was. And finally he came back to put me in the car seat and he goes, "I deal with bad guys every day on the street. I'm not scared of you." And he put the fucking belt on and I just I said, "Yeah, that's a pretty good point."
He
I was
cuffed
"Damn."
you.
Yeah, literally. He said, I just heard it go. But yeah, so I was like, "That's a pretty good point, Dad. You got me there."
It's like you have the right to remain
Yeah,
silent.
exactly.
Anything you say will be held against you in the court of law, which I am.
in the court of grounding when I take your.
Was your
Damn.
was your area bad that he had to like?
I would say the downtown area, yeah, it's pretty tough.
Oh no shit.
You know what's funny is that in a lot of the downtown areas in major cities in Canada, I've actually felt a lot less safe than I do out here.
Really?
Yeah, which is something I didn't expect. Like you go to areas like Vancouver and even downtown Calgary, the thing in Canada is that they have this idea that like in the States it's worse. So that's what they always say.
Yeah.
But then I come here and I'm like, wow, I feel a lot safer actually walking around here. So yeah, I would say like the homelessness, the crime, the drugs it's pretty rampant. And I think it maybe is more noticeable because there's a smaller population, right? So it's
Yeah.
maybe more contained
Yeah.
to a certain area.
There's also certain areas like in the city when they say, "Oh, New York City's terrible," it's really limited to like certain areas are kind of dangerous.
Yeah.
And like that's when they're like, "Oh, there's so many shootings happening." They're all happening, unfortunately, in like one specific area. They
Yeah.
usually happen in like the Bronx or Harlem.
Exactly.
But I just saw you did. I saw you posted you were doing man on the street stuff up in Harlem.
Yeah,
What
I
was
was
that
out in
like?
Harlem. That was interesting, man. It was, you know what? There's a lot of really cool characters out there. Actually, there was like a shooting a few blocks away that day, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Like the 4th of July.
crazy.
So, yeah, I mean, it was nuts, but I feel like it's just one of those things. Like, if you show respect, you get respect.
Yeah, yeah.
And I wasn't there to, like, make a mockery of them or anything. I'm just there to let them say their piece. So that was cool. But, yeah, it's compared to where I grew up, I mean, there's no comparison,
Yeah,
I
really.
would say. But, yeah, so I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say I felt safer in Harlem than I did in Canada, but maybe, Fifth Avenue. No.
Oh yeah, dude. Certain areas of the city, you're like, "Oh, this is
Yeah.
there's no one here."
Yeah,
I'll say though the thing that like is comforting in New York City, even like in like more shady areas that I've been in, is that there are always people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, which
That's
is
the
nice.
thing.
Like we did a gig in Binghamton, New York, a couple of months ago, and like it was like walking around at night. It was fucking scarier because nobody's there. Dude.
Yeah.
So if you'd see one person, you'd be like, "The fuck is that guy up to?"
Yeah,
Exactly.
why is he following me? Oh, he's just
Yeah.
walking home also.
Yeah, but it's,
dude.
You know, you never know.
That was like when you did a couple weeks ago, you had a show in Long Island City, and I met you there, and it's like, you know, not late. It's like 8:30, 9 o'clock at night, and it's dark out, but I'm walking. Long Island City shuts down because
Yeah.
it's all like, you know, a lot of businesses and that kind of stuff. Dude, I was walking like under the bridge, the way we walked back, by myself. I was like, this is kind of sketchy because
Yeah.
there's no people.
No, for
No
sure.
people.
That's the thing about back home too. Like in Edmonton, for example, like we have a train. Like it's just one train. Like we don't have multiple lines or anything. It literally goes straight. Like I've seen so many comics roast us when they come to the city. They're like, "That's not a train. That's like a trolley." But basically, I mean, there's been times where I went from the north side of the city to the south side, and I would see nobody at any of the stations at all. Like I'm talking, we're stopping at stations. There's nobody there, and I'm in the train alone. And I'm like, one person comes on, they want to fuck with me. It's over, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, at least until something happens. So it's I think the fact that there's people around, it feels good. I've been walking around 1, 2 in the morning chilling. So it's all right.
Yeah, here, especially you go to like Times Square at like 2 a.m.,
Yeah.
it's fucking packed. It feels
Yeah.
like it's,
Although Times Square is a little more sketchy to me.
Oh, yeah.
Personally. Like I'm every time I'm there, I'm like, I'm on high alert.
you
You should be,
Yeah,
yeah,
for
definitely, because it's
because they're looking for, that's where tourists go.
That's
That's
the
where
thing.
like, you can get pickpocketed and stuff. Although I've never heard of anybody getting pickpocketed, which I think is like just American culture.
That's like famous last words, though.
Yeah, there you
sure.
go.
There's
Better knock on that wood, son.
Yeah, there's about to be a fucking Spider-Man's gonna take
Well, no,
your money
you hear,
clip.
dude, you hear about, Paris is big on pickpockets, New York is just, they'll straight up jump you and rob
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Paris, they're a little more polite about it.
Yeah, there's no subtlety involved. Just give me your wallet, bitch. Like,
Which is exactly, an argument on American culture. It's like, no, we'll just be aggressively robbing you. Paris is like, can we steal your wallet, please?
yeah,
I just think of a bunch of like French mimes, like
yeah, exactly. Whoops.
Dude, one of the funniest things I saw on the internet was like, what would you do with if you could be invisible for 24 hours, what would you do? And it was the guy wrote, he was like, I would fly to Paris and beat the shit out of a mime. just beat the shit out of a mime and have everybody watching me like, wow, this guy's good.
this guy's good.
This guy's real. He's bleeding? Oh my God, he's good.
I don't think he's breathing. This guy's dedicated.
what would you do if you're invisible?
Invisible? I think it's like the worst. I think it's the worst superpower you could have.
I think it's pretty cool. Nobody would fucking bother me.
Maybe we could rob that bank.
Yeah, if I was invisible,
Steal
I mean,
shit.
Yeah.
I feel like you can't be a hero if your power
Yeah.
is invisibility. I feel like you gotta be a criminal.
You
know?
go,
Something
you go
bad.
look at people naked.
Yeah. We'll
And
do
then
that.
like, do you remember the Invisible Man or
Hollow Man
Hollow Man with Kevin Bacon?
did not
Did
age
you
well.
see that? Oh
No.
no, dude.
So he was like invisible the whole movie.
Yeah, they do like a procedure on him and he turns invisible and then they like can't turn him back. And then they keep putting like makeup on him and then he just starts like, he starts like creeping to like the coworkers'
Yeah.
apartments and shit.
Oh, God.
It's so weird, dude.
Definitely couldn't make that movie today.
Oh no, dude. He's just like assaulting like
He has
it's
sex-
like a
Doesn't he have
ghost.
sex with a woman?
I think so.
Yeah.
And then like they're like, where
good.
is he? Yeah, then they burn him
Didn't age well.
alive.
Kevin Bacon.
Yeah.
Kevin
Wow.
Bacon.
The
Not
great
a-
Kevin Bacon.
Not a good look for Kevin.
What a
Bacon.
fall from Footloose. I know.
I know. Just
How the mighty have
invisible,
fallen.
Sexually
I
assaulting.
like to think that they're both in the same universe where they like where he failed. And he wasn't allowed to dance, so then he
Yeah.
went into science.
Dude, I love that character of guy who thinks every Kevin Bacon movie is shared universe.
Oh, that's great,
So
dude.
great.
That's so
I
funny.
can't believe this, man. He was so nice in Tremors. And now he's fucking
Dude, he's lived so many lives.
I
Been around.
I got a rig on him.
Penis?
Big old dick.
Really?
Yeah,
How do you
Kevin
know?
Bacon. I see it in a movie. I think it was like Wild Things.
Really? You don't
Yeah,
think it was a
you don't even-
prosthetic?
You don't even see. Why you gotta ruin everything? Why you gotta ruin movie? It's movie magic for a reason. Why can't I?
Okay,
why
dude.
can't I just go?
Sure.
Maybe it is.
Well, I've heard John Hamm has a piece on him.
Why can't I go through the rest of my life Just
let him have this one, man.
You have it,
He was
I'm not
enjoying
gay no more. I am delivered.
But yeah, why can't I don't know.
Sorry, dude. I hate to ruin your fantasy about Kevin Bacon's dick. I really apologize.
Gotta be honest, I'm doing pretty good with the buttons.
You're
today.
killing it, dude.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
I
The
usually
timing is good.
I usually hit the wrong button. It'll be, I'll say something and I'll be like, yeah, dude, and then everybody died. Oh, fuck,
We got a couple good ones.
He is a sick puppy.
That would have been
He's
good
a
for Hollow
sick
Man.
puppy.
Oh yeah, a little bit of an
Don't be
understatement.
rude.
What else? What else? We got? We got three
I'm
more.
gonna come.
Some real hitters.
We need
Why
Kamala
are you
Harris.
gay?
Oh yeah, we do need
Why
some
are you
Kamala.
gay?
Do not come. That's the way we
Yeah.
do.
Disgusting brothers.
I think I'm gonna change that one out.
That's the one we use the least. The
Yeah.
disgusting brothers.
It's
Disgusting brothers.
I thought we would use it more often. When we
Yeah.
got weird, I would play that.
Yeah, no, we just get weird with no
No tag.
with no sound effect for it.
Dude, well, we're almost at an hour. Was there anything else you want to talk about before we start to wrap?
I mean, listen, I just appreciate you guys having me.
Dude.
You know, I think it's been really cool to come down here. And so I wanted to ask you guys this, though, actually.
Yeah.
Because this is a question I've been trying to ask a lot of people
Love
here.
questions.
As Americans, what is your perception of Canada? Like when I talk about Canada or just mention it, what's the first thing that comes to mind for you guys?
Oof, that's a good question. That it's cold, that you love hockey, that you're not as polite as everybody thinks you are,
Oh, this guy's good.
Yeah.
and that you aren't as that you aren't as politically charged as us.
Wow.
So I would say, cold hockey. No offense, a place I would not want to live.
I hear you.
And then, not as polite, but also now, recently, it's all that Trudeau. Like
Yeah.
Trudeau's like ruining your country.
Oh my God, dude. I'll tell you guys something that's crazy, and I know we have to wrap.
No,
but,
where we got time.
Basically, you go to any public event, whether it's sporting, whether it's even I went to an autograph signing recently, and everybody in the parking lot, unprovoked, started chanting "fuck Trudeau."
It's crazy.
You go to the UFC, you go to anything, they'll start chanting "fuck Trudeau." Like I would say here, there's a pretty, like some people like Biden, some people like Trump.
Yeah.
Almost everybody in Canada seems to despise Trudeau. I would
That's
say there's
nuts,
like a
dude.
15-20% support him.
How does he keep winning?
There's no limits.
That's
And
crazy.
That's the
dude.
thing. So he's been in power, I think, for 8 years, and
Gonna keep going.
yeah, I mean, at this point. But I mean, if he wins again, which I don't think he will, but yeah, it's insane. But yeah, it's interesting that you said as well, not as politically charged, because as many people, as there are that don't like him, it's still not really fashionable to talk about
Yeah.
not liking him.
Well, don't you guys? He started limiting like free speech, right?
Yeah,
Don't you guys not technically have like free speech?
Pretty much, yeah. So basically, we don't have the
Crazy.
right to protest. They say you do, but when you protest, they'll run you down with horses. They'll arrest you. They'll freeze your bank account. Stuff like that. I mean, there was a reporter recently who was arrested for asking questions.
That's nuts, dude.
You know,
As much as I hate protests when they happen, like in New York or whatever, and I'm like, it's so lame, whatever.
Right.
It is important, it's an important right, I think, for a republic.
Well, then
Absolutely.
what's been the perception? What's the perception there about here? As far as
interesting.
Canada?
So first of all, I'll say that I think my personal perception is much different because I know
Certainly.
mostly Americans that
Yeah.
I'm friends with online,
Yeah.
and I've always known Americans, but I think a lot of people there don't. I think there's a fear mentality. So like I
Really?
said, like they think of crime, they'll just say, "Oh, but it's so much worse in the States."
yeah,
They'll say things like that. So I think
just
that
a bunch of fat, loud criminals over here.
I think there's a lack of understanding of what it actually is like over
Interesting.
here. But I would say that there's actually a lot more similarities than there are differences. I think just socially, the thing I love about America is that there's a constant discourse about how we can be better as a country. How you guys
Yeah.
can be better as a country. It's wherever somebody's standing, at least there's constantly the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas in Canada, it's like just be quiet, fall in line, go watch hockey.
That's
I think
dangerous.
I think there's a fucking happy medium though to be had.
Yeah,
I
sure.
do because I think when I said like politically charged here, like it, I mean, I think it's good to have constant, like, communication and discussions about, like, things that are affecting us all. But I think it has become our identity as Americans now that we have, like, our politicians are like our sports teams. And, that we are so, like, everything's so divisive, and literally everything has taken on a fucking, like, political undertone or political nature. I mean, there was a point in time where, like, New Balance shoes meant you were a conservative. And it's like,
yeah,
what
That's
the
insane.
fuck?
Yeah, that's insane.
Nuts.
What
I
are
don't
you
even
talking
remember
about?
how that happened, but dude, they made Normand always used to wear New Balances. He probably still does, but like when he filmed the special, it was right around that time of the New Balance controversy, whatever, where they were like, "Oh, and they told him, they were like, dude, you shouldn't wear New Balance when you're filming the special." And he was
really?
like, what the what?
That's
What do you mean?
insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Comedy Central or Netflix, whoever it was like, yeah, you can't. You got to
That's what
go
I'm-
get different shoes.
Yeah, I mean, literally everything has become politicized here to the point where it's annoying.
So there could be a happy balance between that.
100%. Yeah, I don't think it's like, hey, say absolutely nothing so, the government can just do whatever the fuck they want.
Exactly.
And then on the flip side of it, it's like, hey, let's just argue about everything so we're distracted and the government can do whatever they want.
Yeah. Oh, that's big time, dude. That happens a
love
lot,
that.
dude. People just get that's a kind of a discourse that's happening now is like, dude, the government wants you arguing about social issues. They don't want you arguing about like the fact that they're bailing out big banks and the fact that they're giving money, just spending it at an astronomical rate. They want you arguing about race and gender and abortion, and like they don't want those other things. They don't. I just saw Dave Smith talking about this, where he was like,
right.
you had the left was arguing Occupy Wall Street. The right was the Tea Party movement, and they were just like both agreeing.
Well,
basically being like death to the rich.
Well, I always said like kind of like the perfect like microcosm of how like the two like sides of politics in this country was pretty I thought like the perfect example of how things work here was January 6th when they stormed the Capitol, right? And they, did all that. And it was the left saying like, oh my God, if these were, minorities running up the steps at the Capitol, they would have been shot. Right. And then the fucking right was like, oh, you guys weren't bitching and complaining when they were burning down Minnesota. And it's like, both of you are just talking about whataboutisms instead of like, hey, this is a bad thing that happened. Yeah. Why can't we just agree that this is a bad thing that happened and like let's figure some shit out?
A bunch of guys can't go hang out at the Capitol?
Yeah, what the fuck, man? No.
But I just mean, yeah, so I would say like that like, that perception is definitely right, but it's not right that it's always a good thing or like a better thing.
I like that. See, that's a good takeaway.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate it,
go,
guys.
dude.
Listen, we'll do it again. I'd love to have you guys on mine at some point. Or
Yeah, dude. That'd be great, man.
Together.
This will be out in like I think 2 weeks. Tell the people where they can find you, follow you wherever.
Instagram Cassius Morris _ the channel is Cassius Morris Official on YouTube. We got tons of interviews, podcast streams. Come and check it out. We appreciate
Are you named after Muhammad Ali?
Yes.
Hell yeah.
That's
fucking
awesome. I can't believe that took an hour for that question to come
I've been
up,
thinking
dude.
about it the whole time, and then he
It's
just
all
said his
good.
name again. And
Might as well.
I felt like we were on a roll, and I didn't want to completely derail everything. Like, oh, you named after Muhammad Ali? I love him.
I know. That's usually my move. To derail the conversation. Hey, have you heard of Zins?
Dude, check out. You can dispose. Zins you already used.
Got
in the
roasted
bottom.
a couple episodes ago for that. Oh, God.
That's
But
hilarious.
yeah, man, definitely go check out Cassius and Ray Zawodni. I'm on all Instagram or on Instagram and all other social media. YouTube channel I have there that I put my stand up on, and then October 11th, Must Be Nice, my comedy special coming out on Rhizome Comedy. And every single Wednesday, you catch me here on the Troublemakers podcast with my good pal Dylan Krasinski. Dylan, where can they find you?
You can find me at Dylan Krasinski on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok, and at Troublemakers on all those sites. We post clips 2, 3, 4, 5, sometimes 6 times a week when I'm feeling motivated. Go follow Cassius, and we'll see you next week, baby. Good night.